What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we are looking at 5 things that are normal in Germany but considered poor in the USA. This is pretty interesting. Let's see what we got. Like the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel. It supports me a lot. And let's actually see what we got then.
Hi everyone, what is up? My name is Haley. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you did not know, now you do. Hey you guys, what's up? In today's video, I'm going to be talking about things that are considered poor in the United States, but relatively normal in Germany. And this video is not meant to be taken too serious, you guys, so please keep that in mind. But with that being said, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and let me know down below in the comment section what you think about this video. So the first thing that is considered poor in the United States, but relatively normal in Germany, is the zum Verschenken boxes or signs that you will see on a sidewalk or the side of the road. And this is
So what on earth is that? Is that like a donation sort of thing, I would say?
basically, usually, a cardboard box filled with random knickknacks that someone is giving away. They don't want to go through the hassle of putting it maybe on eBay and trying to get money for it, or they don't want to throw it away because it still has some life left in it. So things that I usually saw in these types of boxes, or these little, I don't know, random giveaways, I guess you could say, were books, chargers, tiny electrical devices. I've even seen microwaves. I've seen old bikes, desk chairs, and a bunch of odd
Damn, that's
things
not
as
bad,
well.
actually.
There would be people that, let's say, I knew and they had money, and they would go look in these zum Verschenken boxes to see what was inside. And I'm like, you have
Is that
enough
what they're
money to
called?
buy like this 5,000 times over brand new. Why are you looking in this box to see if there's something that you could get for free? And they're like, why not? If I need it and it's free, I might as well use it. I think one time I picked up a book out of a zum Verschenken box, and I actually enjoyed reading the book. I don't remember what it was. It was many years ago, probably like 7 years ago. And I just remember thinking to myself, I would have never purchased this by myself. I would have never taken this out of a library, but I just took it because it was free. I just find this to be a very interesting cultural difference, because we have technically done some social experiments here in the United States, studies and observations regarding free items on the side of the road. And what came out was that if someone were to place a random item on the side of the road and place a free sign one week and then a $2 sign the next week, and the same people would drive by seeing these items on the side of the road, more people would be willing to stop, and more people would actually be willing to steal the item that had a false value. So a $2 price tag. And it could be anything that ranges from 50 cents to $1,000+. People were more willing to steal items on the side of the road that had false value than something for free. I think it's just the association with, something for free is a handout. That's what poor people get, and that's just bad all around. And I guess this is a perfect transition into the next point, which is getting government assistance. And this is so crazy.
Government
for me,
assistance.
guys,
Okay, let's see what they
the amount of
offer.
people that I come into contact with here in the United States that talk about government assistance that they do not receive as something so bad and something that lesser than people receive, and talking about X, Y, and Z person getting handouts from the government, but then getting a different type of government handout, as a lot of people like to say it. I'm like, we're all the same in some capacity. The thing is, in both countries, I have heard people putting others down based on receiving government assistance. It's not something that is, solely happening in the United States. I have experienced it in Germany as well. But the thing that I think makes the United States and Germany a little bit different is that a lot more people are okay with the simple fact that they are getting government assistance, and they understand the complexities of government assistance and what it is, or at least a lot more people in Germany, percentage-wise, understand it a little bit more than people in the United States. So that is why it's not as prevalent in Germany as it is in the USA. I just think that Germans are more realistic regarding this point. They understand the view of their personal self or their personal identity and where they stand in life, and there's not not necessarily too much shame in that. They can be direct, they can be honest, they can be serious towards themselves and towards others. And even though those are usually negative stereotypes that are associated with Germans and with Germany, it sometimes like pushes out or spits out a more level-headed individual. Then when you're looking at the United States, a lot of times we have this free mentality and dreamer mentality, and then people that are making $50,000 a year associate themselves with the millionaires and billionaires of the world and think that they're rubbing shoulders and drinking afternoon brunch tea with them, and they're at the same level. The next thing that is considered...
Okay, so honestly, like, from what she's mentioned here, I do... Like, what would you do? Like, would you pick up this box with equipment in it? Or would you, like... Is that something you would not do? You understand? Because some people might see them on the side of the road or something and just think, like, this is not what I do, you know? Like, I'm not that kind of person. I don't know. Some people think that way. Like, it's weird. So let me know in the comments what you would do. For me, personally, I don't think I would actually go and pick those things up. Like, yeah. It's just something I wouldn't do, to be honest.
Considered poor in the United States but normal in Germany is probably going to be controversial, even though I don't want it to be, but I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but nonetheless I'm standing 10 toes down on my opinion, and it's that a lot of people in the United States do not eat hot soup for dinner, and they associate that with being poor. And it probably also has a lot to do with the climate that I grew up in, but when I was growing up in the United States and when I got back to the United States, still to this day, this is not something that is normal. I do see it on an age basis that the older you get, the more soup you might eat, but generally speaking, going to a restaurant and being able to just order a bowl of soup by itself as an actual meal without a waitress asking you what else you're going to get with it is just not common here in the USA. Hello from Editing Chicken Haley, you guys. While I was digging a little deeper for this point because I felt I didn't do it injustice, I typed in soup as a meal on Google, and I kid you not, I got spit out a Wikipedia page that said peasant foods.
What?
And then on this website page, soups and
Excuse
stews
me again?
were listed as peasant foods. And they had a whole bunch of
Damn.
types of soups from all
Damn,
over the world.
honestly.
But I found this to be so interesting that me typing soup as a meal equated to peasant foods for Google's mind. So do with that.
So soup is peasant meals for Google's mind by the looks of it. Damn, right? God damn.
The soup counts.
Soup counts.
That's not a meal. You were supposed to buy me a meal.
Soup is not a meal, Vera.
In Germany, depending on what season you are.
What do you guys think? Do you think soup is a meal or not? I do think it's considered maybe a starters sort of thing, but like people still like I eat soup sometimes here and there. So yeah, I guess I consider it a meal.
What season you are in will dictate what type of soups you will get. So in the winter, you will have a lot more thicker, creamier soups. In the summer, you will have a lot more thinner soups. You'll have different vegetables that you can throw in. And also, something as simple as like a Suppengrün. Suppengrün.
With
I don't know if
veggies
that's the
inside.
right way to say it, but these little pre-packages that they have at almost every single German grocery store that I have ever stepped foot in, they have this pre-packaged soup base. So it's carrots, sometimes an onion, celery or a celery root. It will be
So basically all the ingredients needed for soup. That's cool.
You throw into some water,
That's
throw
cool.
into some broth, and you let it simmer and you let it sit, and that is the base for your soup. Every grocery store that I have been to in my area, plus or minus, let's say 30 miles, there's nothing like this available because it's just not something that people do that often here. The next thing that is considered poor in the United States but normal in Germany probably belongs in a basic cultural difference video, but I'm going to include it in this video because when I first got to Germany, I had a little bit of a bias regarding this point, and I'm going to tell you guys the story. Don't judge me. I've changed my mind tremendously on it. But I got to Germany and I made myself, I believe, a frozen pizza or piccolinis. And I have said over and over again, I got to Germany in winter, and I got my piccolinis out of the oven, put them on a plate, and closed the oven door. And I remember the person that I was living with, they came around and they said, "Did you just take your things out of the oven? Is it done?" And I said, "Oh yeah." And they slanted the oven door a little bit. And I was just looking and I'm like, "Why are you doing that?" And they were like, "Because it warms the house." I'm like, "But you have a fireplace and you have heating and you have floor heating and you have vent heating. What do you need the oven?"
Yeah, I've never heard that before. Like using the oven to actually heat your room, your house, is that something people actually do? Like, I'm confused now. I'm actually confused. I've never done that before, so it's a bit weird to me.
For to warm the house. And they were like, "Because it's free heat. And why would you close the oven when it's done?" And I'm like, "But why would you leave it open if it's done?" Also, growing up in the United States, we would have safety demonstrations or demonstrators come to our school telling us proper home security and safety measures that we should take. And for us, closing the oven door was actually one of the safety tips that they gave us. They also gave us energy conservation tips. So, while you're washing your hands, shut off the water. While you're shampooing your hair, shut off the water.
Do you guys do that? Do you guys turn the water off? Like, say you're putting shampoo on your head. Do you turn off the water while you actually do that? I don't. Maybe I'm wrong not doing that, but yeah, I just don't. It feels weird for me. It just feels weird.
Or leaving a room, shut off the light, those types of things. And so that always stuck with me. And when I came to Germany and everybody was just slightly leaving their oven open, and Mike still does it still to this day, and I have to yell at him because Florida is not the place for that. Anywhere that's cold, amazing, but anywhere that's hot, no thank you. It doesn't need to get any warmer inside of this place because it is a sauna in here already. But I just found that to be so funny because I'm like, not the CDC recommending us to close our ovens in the United States, and Germany's just out here opening them. And I don't know what could happen actually if you leave the oven on with the thing open. I don't know if that can hurt you. I don't know if you turn it off and leave it open, if that can hurt you. You guys can let me know. I try not to cook with the oven that much because it makes the whole apartment warm, and I hate that tremendously. The last and final thing that is considered poor in the United States but normal in Germany is something that I will continuously bring up on my channel because I witness it almost every single day that I am driving. Someone saying something or making fun of someone that does not have a car, that's on a bike. I will see aggressive behavior towards someone that is riding a bike. I have seen people seriously almost every day that someone is on a bike, driving on the street, driving on the sidewalk, and a car is semi-inconvenienced by this person. They will say, "Oh, you broke X, Y, and Z," curse word. And I'm just like, why? What is the issue? And I know there's going to be people that say, "Oh, but in New York City, you don't need a car." That is true. But the thing is, if you don't have a car in your 20s or 30s, upwards here in the United States, you will be considered poor. And New York is not representative of the whole US of A, just how Munich is not representative of all of Germany. But the majority of people here in this country need a car to survive.
You do need a car. You do need a car
to survive, even though it is needed.
I still think like owning a car could actually be cheaper for you, because imagine taking taxis, buses, I don't know, trains. First of all, it wastes a lot of time wasting. So, and yeah, just the money spent every single time, like taxis, especially if you're taking taxis. If you like can't use a train or bus for some reason, I take taxis every single day to work or something, bro, that's not good. That's a lot of money.
A lot of people associate you less than. If I could get to my job in a safe manner via bike, you bet your bottom dollar I would be taking my bike. Y'all think I'm kidding. No, when I started school, I was trying to calculate how I would not have to drive. I was like, could I maybe take a bus and then take my bike and then ride my bike on the sidewalk? And then I made Mike go on a trip with me, driving the route that I would want to take with my bike to see if it was possible with a sidewalk. It was not, because the sidewalk randomly ended at a major intersection, so I would not be able to ride my bike because I don't trust people on the road here in the United States, let alone, or more specifically, in freaking crazy ass Florida. Had I been able to get a cheaper car when I got here, I would have done it 100%. But the issue that I had exactly when I got to the United States, and I really pushed it for months, you guys, thinking that it was going to get better. It did not. It got worse. I wanted to get a used car because I thought I'd be able to pay cash like $19,000 and get a very decent car for that amount of money. No, there was a used car shortage. I don't know if it was a real used car shortage, but it was a used car shortage. So every car that had less than 50,000 miles, let's say, was around $26,000 to $30,000. Kid you not. I wanted a Toyota Corolla, you guys. 2020, 2019. I could not find one for less than $20,000.
Really? For
with
Corolla?
less than 80,000 miles on it.
Damn.
So then, if I wanted to, let's say, finance the car, the interest
Damn,
rates
that
were
is hard.
10%. And I'm like,
That is honestly
what the
hard.
hell is this? For me, I'm like, you're not poor if you don't drive a car in the United States. You're smart. Horrible way to end this video, but it's just to talk about some of the differences between each country. And so with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I love you.
Wow, I actually really enjoyed that. She actually described everything so well. I love the way she mentions everything, the way she describes it. It was really, really good. Thank you to Haley, Haley, for this video. The link to the original video will be in the description below. And yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this video and want more reactions like these, let me know in the comments what else you want. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, guys. Like the video, subscribe, and see you next time. Peace out.